9440. 4405. 944405. 1905.
Welcome back, crime fighters. It is time for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. And by us, I don't mean me. I'm just the host of the show. I'm Chris Wright. Chief Deputy Matthew Wade, you can do some of the locking up.
We can do the locking up. I tell you what, it's another good week. 6 people were arrested, and it was all because of you. You get involved and helped us out. Brings our count up to 3,449 people put behind bars, all because you watched this show and got involved, and thank you very much.
All right, we do greatly appreciate you being involved, and there's something else that we want you to get involved with as well. Coming up on Wednesday, July 29th, we're going to have a blood drive with the American Red Cross at the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, and obviously we'll have some employees of the Sheriff's Office that will be donating blood, but also we're looking for the general public to come by.
Absolutely. I think we want 30 pints of blood as our goal. I give every time they go. I have to admit it's pretty rough on me. I have to lay there and get the cookie and the extra drink, but you know, anybody wants to come by and get some blood, you know, we would be glad to have you help save somebody's life. I'm not sure how many lives you can save with a pint of blood, but I think it's 3 or 6 people for every pint you give. You know, and hey, you know, if you got a warrant on a misdemeanor or something, we maybe can work something out. You never know. If you come down and get some blood, we can maybe work something out.
Not a guarantee, but
not a guarantee, but we'll give you some favors anyway. Yeah, we'll talk to the judge for you.
Yeah, I went for a long time thinking, I'm scared of this, I don't want to do this, I'm not going to give blood. I finally decided, you know what, I got to get over myself. I need to give blood. This is important. And then they give you the book you got to read, and found out I'm not eligible because I lived in Scotland in 1980 and 81, and they had a hoof and mouth disease breakout, and because of that I'm still ineligible to give blood. There's a little bit of relief there, but it is kind of sad knowing that I'm not able to do this, and there are so many people that rely on it. I've had family members, we all have, who have needed blood for whatever reason, car accidents or cancer treatments, or there are a lot of different reasons why that blood is needed, and if somebody doesn't step up, then somebody's not going to get it.
Absolutely, and you know, in our agency, we do this at least twice a year, and we're trying to do our part, and that's the reason why we're promoting it here. You know, sometimes if you give blood, you never know, the life you save might be your own or somebody you love. So please come out and give blood, and it'll be on July the 29th. And like I said, if you do have a warrant, we'll talk to the judge for you.
All right. It always helps to get a good word in with the judge.
It always helps to be on the judge's good side.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some people who need a little help with the judge. The first half of this week's lineup is coming up on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am.
sober.
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links.
Hi, I'm her son Isaiah Houston.
And this is the Family Tip of the Week. With summer vacation coming to an end and a summer likely filled with many nights where your kids' heads are not even close to hitting their pillows at 9 p.m., back to school will mean instituting some new sleep schedules. And since no parent wants to be on the receiving end of a phone call from a teacher telling her that her child is nodding off in class, here are some tips to help parents get kids back on the right sleep schedules.
First, set a sleep schedule and maintain the same sleep schedule on weekends and holidays.
Avoid late nights and sleeping in to ensure that your children aren't too sluggish on Monday morning. If children end up having a late night Friday or Saturday, wake them up early the next day.
Second, ease off the caffeine and
energy drinks, which are commonly found in high school vending machines, only give kids a short burst of energy that lead to a quick crash. Instead of looking for a quick burst of energy, parents should make sure their kids are maintaining a healthy lifestyle, featuring plenty of exercise and nutritional food that will keep them feeling good.
Third, turn off the electronics.
Right. Texting, watching TV, and playing video games can leave kids stimulated when they get into bed. Avoid bright lights from electronic devices in the bedroom, and instead try keeping a book on the nightstand to read, which will help calm them down before sleep.
Bottom line, set up a routine and stick with it.
Set up the rules before, if you can, or as soon as school starts. Reminding your kids that homework, studying, and going to bed on time are not do you want tos, they are have tos. There are no options regarding the end results here. They have to do their homework, they have to go to bed on time. You also need to set up the rules and the consequences for breaking them ahead of time so they know what to expect. Write them down in terms they can understand or add pictures and hang them on the refrigerator. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
For more family tips, please call my mom at Family Links at 256-820-5911.
You ready to go back to school?
No.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up this week, Davy Bentley. Mr. Bentley, last known to be living in Childersburg. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a forged instrument second and failure to pay child support. The face of a fraudulent deadbeat dad. And this is Veronica Slayton. Miss Slayton, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted for failure to appear on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And meet Andrietta Bolding. Miss Bolding, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for theft of property first and negotiating worthless negotiable instruments ×2. Take a look at Tanya Castleberry. Miss Castleberry, last known to be living in Cropwell, Alabama. She's wanted for failure to pay on theft of property first. And meet Ereka Bailey. Miss Bailey, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second. And this is Trenton Elston. Mr. Elston, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on bond revocation for possession of a forged instrument second ×2. And last up in our first half, Michael Rosa. Mr. Rosa, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation revocation on burglary third. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
Taking a break from the bad guys, and let's talk about a subject that is on the minds of a lot of people in this area right now. Matthew, we've had a story here recently about some prison contraband, a cell phone that got into the Calhoun County Jail, and there is a former correctional officer that is facing some consequences because of that. If you want to, let's talk maybe a little bit about that, but let's talk more in general about what's allowed, what's not, and what can happen to you if you bring it in.
Absolutely. I first want to start off by saying just 2 weeks ago we had a deputy sheriff that saved 4 people's lives.
Amen.
Amen. And we gave that deputy the credit that was due and made him a hero. And that was a good thing, and it was the right thing to do. Now that we have somebody in our agency who's done something wrong, we don't cover it up. We stand for righteousness. We stand for what's good and decent and just, and we're not going to put up with one of our employees doing something that shouldn't. And if they broke the law, they'll go to jail. And that's what we did in this case. So I want to start off by saying, just because one person did something bad doesn't mean that the whole agency's that way. And let everybody know where we stand on it. If they do bad, they're going to pay the penalty if we know about it. Just as much as I would expect the people would want me to pay the penalty when I do something wrong or did something wrong. So there's no cover-up.
Just because you work with the law does not mean you are above the law.
Actually, if you work with the law, it means you're held to a higher standard.
Right.
And you know, like I said, Deputy Kaiser, who saved those people's life, he was at a higher standard. And this correctional officer, what she did was not even at the standard of normal people. What she did was wrong. It could have got somebody killed or hurt, just as in the prisoners who broke out from the prison in New York. They had inside help, and you know, for whatever reason, you know, inmates in jail, it's called making people ducks.
Right.
These male inmates made this female a duck. They talked nice to her, told her she was pretty, started out with small favors, and convinced her that to do things she shouldn't do, and that's really a shame. But it happens on occasion.
And we've just had this incident here where we had several people arrested on drugs charges here in Northeast Alabama, and supposedly a couple of people who were behind bars were still running the operation. Get those cell phones in the jail, you are really allowing bad things to happen.
It's dangerous. You know, in the jail, there's things that we don't allow in jails that are legal on the streets. Cell phones. Could be one. There's tobacco. There's things of that nature that's illegal if you bring it into a jail, and it's a felony to bring it in. It's a felony to have it. Cell phone is so dangerous as far as not only can you conduct your criminal enterprise, you can call people. If we transport you to court or to prison, you can use that cell phone to text or call and let people know when you're leaving, where you're at.
Which puts officers in danger.
Absolutely. To me, having a cell phone is equivalent to having a firearm, and very dangerous. And this correctional officer knew it was there and did nothing about it. And
so even just knowing about it, if you're a correctional officer, that is a crime. Just knowing about it and not reporting it.
Absolutely. And it's just a terrible shame. But you know, contraband is in every jail. The Calhoun County Jail is not any different. It doesn't have more, doesn't have less. Inmates are in jail. They're human beings. They try to find ways all day long to get past the system. They try to find ways to escape, find ways to get privilege, find ways to get things that they want. And that's their job. And it's our job to search them. It's our job to have good policy and procedure and to make sure that didn't happen. You know, this case made the news, but just several months ago, a man and woman come in to try to leave a package for somebody. Officer searched it, found Suboxone strips sewed into the sock seams and the towel seams. I personally went over there and I arrested them, brought them back, and those 2 people, they have felony charges on them as well. So this happens pretty regular, and how it happens is people come in trying to introduce property in there. Inmates go out each and every day. People talk about Sheriff Joe, you know, the toughest sheriff in America, having a garden and doing all these things. Well, we do a lot of that, and our inmates, we probably have 30 to 40 inmates go out daily doing projects for community service. Those inmates are, you know, once they leave the jail, they're a high risk of bringing something back in, and we have to search them and look, and they try to find ways, and we found things in areas you couldn't imagine.
Yeah, we don't want to get too graphic on that, but what are some of the items that people have attempted to bring into the Calhoun County Jail?
Always tobacco, and drugs, marijuana, pills, Suboxone strips. Those are a really big item. Those are things they can't get, you know, in jail, of course. And every once in a while, handcuff keys. We have found a handcuff key in somebody, literally in somebody. We find shanks. Most of the shanks or knives are homemade. And people say, where do they get material to make shanks in the jail? Well, they have to have beds to sleep on, and then the mattress has no metal in it, but their bunks are made out of metal. They're very ingenious people. Just because you're in jail doesn't make you dumb. most people in jail are very smart, they just make bad decisions. So if they made the right decisions, they could be very prosperous citizens.
And having that contraband is another bad decision because, like I said, it's a felony, so a lot more added to your sentence. We need to take a break. We will be back with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict.
Alcoholic.
Meth freak.
A wretch.
Like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
but now I am
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Frank Andrews. Mr. Andrews, last known to be living in Talladega. He's wanted for failure to appear on receiving stolen property second. And this is Andre Allen. Mr. Allen, last known to be living in Talladega. He's wanted for probation revocation on possession of marijuana second. And meet Benjamin Pearson. Mr. Pearson, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear on obstruction of governmental operations. And this is Robert Rowan. Mr. Rowan, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to pay child support, another deadbeat dad. And take a look at Johnny Barclay. Mr. Barclay, last known to be living in Lincoln. He's also wanted for failure to pay child support. And last up in our lineup this week, Janice Schluter. Miss Schluter, last known to be living in Gadsden. She's wanted for failure to appear on chemical endangerment of a child ×2. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you know the whereabouts of these people, and we hope you do, we'd love for you to give us a call at Crime Stoppers 256-238-1414.
We'll have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up here in just a few minutes, and also we'll have our Crazy Criminal of the Week. But Matthew, we've been talking about prison contraband and how they bring it in and what kind of things they're bringing in and how much trouble you can get in for having it, bringing it. You know, it's a felony, either side of the equation.
Absolutely.
Felony. We're talking about this because of a specific case that happened in the Calhoun County Jail here recently, where an inmate had a cell phone, and one of the correctional officers at least knew about that cell phone and did not report it. There's a little bit more going on with this case that some people may have seen on the internet, and they need to know the truth about that.
Absolutely. It was brought to my attention yesterday that on the internet, we all know the internet is always accurate. Bonjour. But there was a picture of 2 black females, and it said they were lynched in jails, that they had hung themselves and been determined a suicide. And one of those pictures was the female correctional officer that we arrested, but it didn't have her right name, and it said it happened in another jail. She's alive and well. She bonded out of our jail. You know, that didn't happen, and it really is disturbing to see those kind of stories out there, because it was a divisive story trying to stir people's emotions, and it wasn't accurate. So the Officer Scott that was arrested, she come and was processed, fingerprinted. She had her mug shot taken. She did everything that any other person booked in our jail would go through. She got no special privilege, and she bonded out, and she's awaiting her trial. So if somebody sees that, the story about the 2 black females that were lynched in a county jail or city jail in Alabama, as far as I know, that story is not accurate, and it does have her picture, so I know she's alive.
You know, you guys are human beings.
We are.
You make mistakes.
We
There
do.
are things that happen on a regular basis at the Calhoun County Jail and the Sheriff's Office that are not what they should be. And you own up to that.
Try to.
There are so many people that have reasons to be unhappy with everybody at the Sheriff's Office. There's going to be a lot of misleading information.
Absolutely.
And we always encourage people, if you have a question about something, it may be true, come to the Sheriff's Office and ask about it.
Absolutely.
Get the information directly.
Absolutely, and I'll talk to anybody with any time somebody has a complaint. They normally get me, and we'll talk. I'm not going to say I'm going to make them happy. We deal in conflict each and every day. When somebody's child or loved one is in our jail and they don't understand why we have rules of not letting them bring underwear in, because that's how drugs get in or contraband gets into our facility. So I'm not going to make them happy all the time, but I don't mind explaining why we do the things we do. We might not agree, but I will give them the basis of what we do. And just like the officer that brought this cell phone in, she's not the first one, the first officer we've ever had to do something like that. And when we know about it, we act on it promptly. We don't want those people, if they're going to commit crimes, they're on the wrong side of the jail cell. And we're going to do something about that. Just in her case, had direct evidence. We found this cell phone. We found the phone records. Her number was on the phone record. It was undeniable. At that point, it all unfolded for her.
I saw something a few weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months now, where somebody was doing a live television interview. The TV reporter is in front of the jail doing some kind of cut-in, whatever, and in the background you see somebody walk across, and they were getting some contraband into the jail on the TV camera while it's live on television.
I tell you what, we've seen it done. We've seen them throw it over the fence. We've seen them hide it in many different ways. That is correctional officers' job, and they're diligent. They try their best, and they find contraband each and every day. And it's something that we can never conquer, and we can never quit trying. And sometimes we get beat, sometimes we don't. And when we do catch them, we charge them.
And again, you said it is a felony.
Yes.
To do this. We talk about people making bad decisions. Let's try to convince people, if anybody's watching this thinking, you know what, yeah, I can get something in there, don't just say it's a felony. What is going to happen to you if you get caught bringing in something that you think is inconsequential to the jail?
You're going to be, first of all, they're going to put your hands behind your back, they're going to put handcuffs on you, and they're going to carry you to the county jail. They're going to take you, make you put on orange and white clothes. You're going to stand in front of a camera, get your picture taken. You're going to get your fingerprints took. You're going to be sent off to the federal system to see if you have any wants, and to the immigration system to see if you have any wants. And then you're going to be put in a jail cell until you make a bond. And let me just tell you, people talk about how, you hear people say, well, they got more in jail than I got at home. You don't see people trying to break into jail. No. It's not a nice place. It's not where people want to be. And I guarantee you, the 400 and something people we have in our jail, if you said, hey, any of y'all want to stay, you can, but the rest of you can leave, wouldn't nobody stay.
No. No. All right, so don't do it. That's the message.
We will be strict on it, and there'll be no second chances.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a job with the Sheriff's Office, there may be some opportunities. There
Absolutely.
usually are.
There are. Correctional officers is a tough job. Doesn't necessarily pay the greatest, but it is rewarding if you want to serve your community. Come down and give us a call.
All right, we're going to take a break. We will be back with the Crime Stoppers segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
A wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
But now I am.
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show. We have 3 cases for you to look at this week. First up, on July 14th, this residence on Dripping Rock Road in Piedmont was broken into. They got away with an iPad and jewelry. And then on 7/17, the residence was broken into again, and this time they got away with a laptop and more jewelry. And sometime between July 9th and July 18th, a steel weed eater and steel pole saw were stolen from a building located on Mud Street in Lincoln. And last up on your caseload this week, between July 17th and July 18th, a residence on Gate 5 Road in Alexandria was broken into. They got away with jewelry, silver 50-cent coins, and $2 bills. And that's it for your Crime Stoppers cases this week. If you have any information on these cases, please give Crime Stoppers a call at 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Now, a lot of times our crazy criminal stories are funny. This was really not funny. This guy, just had to put him on here because he just made me so mad.
All right.
Okay. 23-year-old man dining at a restaurant in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, using racial slurs at his table. A waitress asks him to stop using racial slurs, and he hit her. 6'4", 260 pounds, he hit the waitress because she didn't want him using racial slurs in their restaurant.
I believe Matthew and the chivalry part of me would have took him on right there. It would not have went well at all. We would have found out one way or the other. But so I hope he went to jail and got the extra special treatment.
Yeah, if chivalry is dead, he's the guy that killed it.
Yes,
That's,
absolutely.
Wow, 120 pounds on her. So here's what I hope happens. Obviously, I hope the legal system takes care of him, which they're doing. But I also hope that his mugshot is posted in every single restaurant within a 100-mile radius of where he lives, so this man can never go out to eat in any restaurant ever again, or if he does, somebody's going to spit in his food.
Well, you know, I believe in there is to love God and to treat your neighbor as yourself, and apparently he don't live by those rules, and maybe he'll have a change of heart. So.
Let's hope so. All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for this week. If you missed the first part of the show and you want to see who's in the lineup this week, just go to the Facebook page for the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. We've got it all posted there in a nice 3-minute video for you, so you can see that at your leisure, or you can watch this entire show online at tv24.tv. Go to the on-demand section of the TV24 website. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.